Hi folks, I hope you're well. So, subject matter of this one. Nuns and monks, they're not ministries. They're people hiding from the world. Generally speaking, that's what it is. People that can't cope with the world and they then become nuns or monks. Because they find that the world is too much for them, so they go there where they can hide. Right? It's not a ministry. That they believe that God has called them to a ministry of prayer. Yeah, right. Utter rubbish. It is utter rubbish. No such thing. You're hiding. That's all you're doing. You're hiding. They believe that they're actually doing God's work somehow. No, you're not. It's hiding. Anyway, the point about that is that most churches hide. Not in such an extreme way. They don't run away from the world. They hide in the world. I've done videos recently explaining where or how the church is of this world. How they adapted all these things of the world and brought them into church. Well, the reason why is quite simple. They can hide in the world, right? So they're hiding, but they're hiding amongst everyone else. So they're basically of the world, going to church, pretending to be Christians. Some of them actually truly believing they are. Well, I think most truly believing they are, because most believe that if you go to church and you sing a few songs, you say a couple of amens, and there you go. You're going to heaven. You're a Christian now, right? No, it's never that. Never been that. It's never been about that. The whole point about giving your life to God isn't about giving your life to church. Church is not God, right? So come on. Yeah, you don't serve the church. You don't even serve God. You serve his kingdom. You serve his will, his way. You do things, you learn to do things according to the will and way of the Father, according to the Lord's Prayer. Right? You learn to do that. As a baby, you can't, you're beginning. But as you grow, you're supposed to walk in that and learn to walk in that more and more and more and more and more. Well, yeah, most don't. And the reason is because, people in darkness, they don't just not like light, they hate light. I am so blessed that when I was speaking to God about this issue a long time ago, about light and why it's such a problem, God reminded me of movies that I saw when I was a kid that were on TV, where they showed the movie was about American soldiers being captives and prisoners in Japanese prison camps. And when a soldier was badly behaved, they were sent to the hole. The hole was an area where there was no light. They were left in darkness, having no communication with people, nothing. They were in the hole. Right? Then, what showed was, when it was their time to come out, the Japanese soldiers opened the the door in the ground. It's not called a door, is it? What's it called? It's called something else. There's probably another name for it, but hey, that'd do. The door to the hole, which was on ground level, downwards, flat, basically. They lifted that up so the person could get out. And as the light entered the hole, the person went back and back and back. Because when the light hit their eyes, it was painful. So therefore, they backed away from the light. So when God showed me that, I realized, oh, right. That's a fantastic way of seeing it, because that really is what happens. And then you watch war movies, and when they show that the other side, whatever side it is, if the British, because normally it was Britain or America, versus Germany in the movie. So therefore, when the British, if one of them showed a light and put the light above the dugout, the Germans shot at the light. When the Germans put a light above the dugout, the British shot at the light. Yeah. Light has not been favoured very much. People in darkness, whatever that darkness, because war is darkness. Again, there's a lot of reasons to shoot out the light. One reason is, certainly in the First World War, between the lines of the English and the Germans, there would have been tens of thousands of bodies laying on the earth dead because they were sent up by the commanders of both sides knowing they're just going to be machine gunned to death. This is why when I've heard women say how useless men are, if I had the power and authority of God, I would have cursed those women to go through the most horrendous pains. Because knowing that in the past it was men who were sent up to be machine gunned to death without a bloody chance, while women were sitting comfortable at home, having a nice cup of tea by the fire. Yeah, you don't get to say that men are shit. You don't get to say that. Not in any way. You just don't get to say that. That is not okay. Neither is it okay to say that women are shit, because they're not. You can't blanket call any gender that. You can say some men are and some women are. That's fair. But no. When in war situations it's men that are sent up to die, it's always men that are sent forward, not women. No, sorry. That's not okay. Poor men have to go to war to fight. If, always was the case, if your country was invaded, it'd be the men that would be the first ones fighting and dying to protect the women and the children. When you had things like Titanic, the women and the children got off, the men drowned. So don't you ever say that men had all the power. Excuse me. No. Most men had no power whatsoever. And only an idiot, an absolute moron. That's why I curse them, because only an absolute moron would believe that bullshit. That men had all the power. That's absolute rubbish. And it's what those in power want you to believe, because then you don't look at what the real problems are. You focus on this crap that they want you to focus on, because then it basically always sets one side against the other. That's why on YouTube you've got the left saying the right of this and the right saying the left is. It's setting one side against the other. That's what they want. They don't want you stopping doing that for a second so you can wake up to the reality of what's really going on. Because then you might do something about it. You might focus on them, and they don't want that. Oh, no, they don't want that. So, yeah. Wise up, folks. But again, understand that, the church, get back to the point, the church is hiding. And the church is hiding because it's nature. It is the nature of people. Nobody wants to really draw attention to themselves, do they? Not really. Only people without fear, or people with less fear. The people with the most fear, they hide. So I say the people who are more sensitive, they're the ones at parties that are going to hide in the corner. right? That they're much more difficult to get them to come out and enjoy themselves because they're more sensitive. For goodness sake, we have so many people that are so sensitive now. It is ridiculous. But that's because the soul has been encouraged. And so there you go. This is, yeah, we are where we are. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. So, hiding. Yeah. See it for what it is. See truth. And again, light is truth. So desire light. Desire truth. Yes, it will be hard. But for goodness sake, hell will be a damn sight harder. So, yeah. You can go for a bit hard now that will lead you to heaven, or you can go for the easy now and have the incredible hard when you die. You choose. Two choices, you choose.